Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dead Space. Let's continue. So, we did the busybody work of collecting all the things that needed to be collected. And now we're going to go talk to this person who's probably crazy, but not as crazy as the other crazy guy. Putting two crazy guys in the story back to back is a bit of a mess. He's going to hopefully allow us to repair the shuttle and escape. Although he's going to ask us to do something different, I think. So we're trapped in a place.
Oh, thank God. I've been following your progress. I know you want to repair the executive shuttle and leave this place, but escape is impossible at this point. The shuttle shock point drive is destroyed. No. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. At first, I lost hope. I tried to scuttle the ship, sabotage the systems. But Amelia, she changed things. The church, they think the marker is divine, but they don't know what's happened here, what's been released. Look. Look at this. That is what we found in the core of the planet. Mercer calls it the hive mind. It's the source, controlling the Necromorphs telepathically. We were so stupid.
Interesting.
But Amelia, she knew it could be stopped by returning the marker to the planet. The marker was containing it within the planet. Return the marker and seal the hive mind. Please. I'm sorry, Amelia.
I don't know who Amelia is.
Much of the responsibility
it's not Nicole.
For this tragedy. Now, I must take responsibility for ending it. I told you my sins.
As a welder, I'm in like this full armor.
If you repair the shuttle and bring the marker back,
this guy's a doctor and he's like in no armor at all.
Forever.
It's certainly different. So he gives us this conversation and he's not going to let me in that area. And clearly this is just an area designed. They probably didn't want you to have the opportunity to shoot him and then explain why shooting him wouldn't work. We did find one place in the game where you couldn't actually shoot somebody. And we may get some more unitology, or these might just be captains going to the captain's quarters. That was quite the collection of enemies. Here you can see the captain's quarters a lot nicer looking than the crew quarters. And they've got like floating rocks. And windows, which I don't know why you'd specifically want your quarters to have. Like, frankly, the captains are living way too high of a life of luxury compared to the other crew. There's a text log that we'll collect. And I'm saying captain's quarters, but this might just be the elite of some other form. Posters of potentially other games. Although I guess it couldn't really have been made by the team that made this game, because while they have made other games, none of them I think are worth mentioning. Oh, of course the creators might disagree there.
Captain's log, personal. I want to set the record straight. By the time this log is heard, my actions will have been vindicated.
Interesting sofas.
I'm a
out of nowhere.
unitologist. By now, it's probably no secret that we shouldn't be in this star system. Just another illegal mining job for the company. That is until the colony found the marker.
These pictures
That
all
was
look
when
different.
the church took an interest and chose me to lead this pilgrimage.
There's a
They also
chessboard.
ensured many of the mission crew were devout. My primary instruction was to get the marker up from the colony and on board the ship. Dr. Kine, the CSO, is an expert on the original marker and was tasked with deciphering this new one. He says he's making good progress. My decision to quarantine the colony is sound. They've got some kind of epidemic down there, and I can't allow it to infect the ship. Not with such precious cargo. Not when we are so close. Planet Crack takes place tomorrow. We'll continue to decipher the marker, and when we return home, we'll pass all our findings and the marker to the church. The government isn't going to cover this one up. Often be praised.
What was that last word that was said? Something be praised. Didn't get that. So you have this fight between a giant corporation, a government that might be the giant corporation, and a giant unitologist religion, which I don't think you can classify it as a cult when it seems to be so large and so powerful. That time that worked when you stomped on it. Each of these pictures I bet are people that worked on the game, but they're or pictures of people that are friends and family of the people that worked on the game. But it's such a low resolution you couldn't even tell. Is this some statement that all the captains were fat and thus they turned into fat necromorphs? I don't know. Maybe you could take it that way. And we learned something interesting, that this isn't the first marker that they've ever found. So there was one before, which kind of makes a very good argument that the necromorphs and the marker aren't just completely connected. Because if they were completely connected, then people would already know about them. They wouldn't be trying to get the markers for themselves. There's cigarettes and sun energy drinks and walkie-talkies and bolt cutters. This area feels sort of filled with items that aren't quite uniquely designed. It feels much more like a pre-made assets that were just purchased. And before we do anything, we're having another falling action sequence. Shuttle controls offline. Shuttle controls offline. And almost guaranteed that there will be some cliched reason why the game forces us to take the marker back to the hive mind and fight it. That would give us that big final boss to match the big creature we fought before in chapter 6. I assume the crazy guy is going to have some reason for that. Finally we get a small health, so I'm going to use that. Up. Yeah, but there's really nothing here, so... Do we walk in here and get punched? Get locked in. Put in the nav cards. I guess that's what we have to do. You don't have to put in everything, though. We had 3 nav cards and an engine.
Wait there for me. I'm on my way.
And it wants me to go in here so it can show cutscene, and again so I can't shoot him and ruin the story. Test fire the shuttle.
Test firing shuttle engines.
There we go. So I think I've got a few of these to deal with. And so I think I'm just waiting for him to come over here. He jumped up in the ceiling. And then I'm just gonna burn him to death. Alright, wait. Oh, darn it. Oh, shoot. Never got any stasis refill. And these guys are... There we go. And while all of that's happening, my health has got lowered quite a lot.
Test firing shuttle engines.
Stand by. Release docking clamps. Docking clamps released.
It works. Yes, this will work. There's still time to make things right. The shuttle needs to be released before launch. The control platform there. I need you to guide the undocking procedure while I start the shuttle's engines. This will make us whole again. Hurry! I'll take the shuttle up to the flight deck where the marker's being held.
That's the phrase again, make us whole again, that we've been hearing. So it sounds like the hive mind very possibly wants the marker back.
Shuttle locks disengaged.
I had already even hit the button.
I'm en route to the flight deck. Meet me there and we can load the marker on board. Yes, Amelia. Soon we'll take it home.
I don't know if Kind is crazy or not, but we need that shuttle. Let's keep him on our side. For now.
We get a power node, we get some money. And I don't think there's anything else to do. If we run into that same cannot be killed enemy again, I'd kind of suck, because the idea that they were giving me was that he was unique, and I would kind of assume that they thawed him out the first time I froze him, but maybe not. All the bodies are missing, except for the figure in there.
Your time has come. No need to be frightened. No reason to fight. Many have gone before us, and now it's time for us to take the voyage together. Transcend death. Future take its course. Join me as I gaze upon the face of God.
Okay, so he turned himself into a necromorph. Do I know where he is? Not particularly. just look at our inventory. We're still holding on to a decent collection of things. But we have a lot of room too. Large med pack. And nothing else. It's a oddly designed room. It's like a smoking section of a place. Even though they said on the wall, no smoking. There's another stasis. And I think we're leaving for the next chapter. So, like, kinesis, stasis, more energy. I could do that for 3. Kinesis, I could do for 3. For just more range. But I think what I would want to do is this, and this. And you can see I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to fill that in. I would need 2 more to get full capacity on the force gun. And the pulse rifle is at the maximum, and the other one, the plasma cutter that we're using more than anything else, is at the other one. So about 11 more nodes, or 110,000, just to upgrade the weapons. That's not even taking into consideration things like the kinesis and stasis, which would probably take another 9 or so. Medium mid pack. We gotta move some of these over. Sell this. Sell this. In a weird way, I'm gonna just hold on to this one because it turned out we needed that. Sell this. Sell this. And sell this. That gets us back up to 30,000, and there's no reason to not buy just all the power nodes you can buy. If I was to sell everything I have except the guns, I could probably get a few more. But I'm not sure how many more. Let's go and sell that many. And that too. And then we're back up to 6. And that may very well be the last of what we do. Which way? Wow. The game is awkwardly pointing me in the direction it wants me to go. And that's the crew quarters, and so we're going to go to one final area on the ship, I bet. They could be rather short. Chapter 10, pretty long. Didn't really explain too much about unitology. I think Dead Space 2 does a better job of this by far, if I was to guess. I think I also just hit B instead of saving there. So next time I see a save station, I'll guess so. Let's see. You know, it wouldn't be terrible to see if you could just save right there. Nope, you can't.
Mr. Clarke, I'm approaching the shuttle hangar. You must find your way to the cargo bay. The marker, it's being stored in there. There's a cargo loading lift there you can use to deliver the marker up to the hangar. Please, You must help me with this. It's the only way.
Go ahead and use that one small thing, one small health. And there's nothing new. Perhaps this would be a point where, just in case the game might unlock everything for you, if you just hadn't found the schematics. A system like that where, as you enter certain points, if you miss the schematics, it would unlock for you anyways, would be nice. But I'm not sure that's really what would happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2 more, 6. That wouldn't be too bad to end the game with 6. I mean, we're fine as it is, honestly, but if I could get another 60,000, sure. Unless the game turns out to be incredibly difficult at the end on easy mode. See, every time it does something like that, we're back to the creepy bathrooms that appear and disappear. Well, they change, I suppose. There are bathrooms everywhere. It's just sometimes they are these public bathrooms, and sometimes they are behind door bathrooms. Sometimes the toilet seats are up, sometimes the toilet seats are down. Here's a save spot, so of our 20 saves, we'll have probably 13. Now, there were areas. See, this might be the first area that we started in. Honestly. This very well might be that first section where we landed our ship. And it's just been that long. And certainly we're going in different places. Just shoot some fish in the barrel if we can. A lot of containers just all disheveled. These big guys used to drop parts and they don't now. And here's another bench, which seems kind of unnecessary. But the game is kind of helpful that way. Be careful with your stasis. These tips could save your life. Like, it is kind of rather generous of how many things you can pick up and how many places you can upgrade. Considering, by modern standards, it's a pretty small game. I'd want it to be 2 or 3 times as long. Like, all 3 of the games could be remastered, probably into one really good game. Remaster, remake it, make it work a little bit better on a PC so it doesn't glitch. And you've got like a 10th year anniversary coming up. It would make all the sense in the world for EA to do that. Sadly, I don't believe EA will. They don't seem to really care about things they own, except for mostly the sports things. This is activate or retrieve cargo. And that's going to bring marker up, and I wouldn't be surprised if that sends the necromorphs coming. Or, I mean, maybe it sends them away. There are some necromorphs here, but hardly a massive collection of them. It would have been nice to see something like that, just necromorphs crawling all over it, and it being a very dangerous, scary situation. Instead, I'm just collecting things, getting money. Now, on average, I'm getting about 900 to 1300 credits per pickup of credits. If I pick up, let's say, half of some of the guns, ammunition, you'd get probably 1200. So it's very close, I'm not sure. And this is our first look at the marker. Unless I'm hallucinating all of this, this thing exists.
Cargo shipment 782. Kinesis module required for further cargo transport.
And I'm hearing something. So, like, everything here is telling me these things don't care about the marker in that fashion, as if it's a negative thing keeping them in check. Perhaps it's an attractor that kept them all on the planet because they didn't want to leave it, but it's certainly not a deterrent. Objective completed.
The cargo lift has arrived. The marker is in the hangar bay. Now you can load it into the shuttle. Hurry!
Notice I'm not stomping on people anymore. That whole system is like, it's just not necessary. Probably would be fine to refill my health. Definitely cool to do it now. There we go. can't do anything more here. Terrible shot. I'm just a terrible, terrible shot. Well, I've been all over this area. Again, maybe there was an achievement for shooting all of those tentacles. Otherwise, like, doesn't seem like there's a storyline reason or anything that would have forced me into that. And let's see if we look at our rig and our cargo. We got a couple nodes, so we'll use this. So we'll commit to this, and I'd need 2 more nodes if I wanted to fill in this whole collection, which would probably be cheaper than filling in that one. 3 more for just upgrading the Ripper, which we haven't even used. And plasma gun would need 3 more too. Yeah, we've been over these numbers several times, so there's no reason to listen to. You can see the symbol. I don't think we've been seeing this symbol very often, if I'm just going to be honest. Like, if we had been seeing it, you can see it's just glitching. We could have been seeing the symbol and just not really paid attention to it. Like unitology, the whole concept of the markers, not really explained. They leave you wanting a lot more than you probably would have expected.
I restored power to the elevator. Take it up to the hangar bay and get the marker on the shuttle. I'm heading up to the flight deck now. Oh god. I'm just gonna run for it. Wish me luck.
It is very possible that the other people in this story don't really have that many guns. We know the other guy did have some of that. Let's see. Sell a stasis pack. Ripper blades. Am I sure? No, I'm not actually. Ripper blades and Ripper blades are right, so definitely sell 1 set of Ripper blades. Pulse rounds, force energy, pulse rounds and pulse rounds, stasis. I'm just gonna hold on to the extra health. And I could make plasma energy, but I don't need to because I can just move a pile of plasma energy from our safe. And let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this and sell 1 of these. And get that fourth power node. A lot of inventory management, more than you'd probably expect. Of course, nothing compared to like Borderlands. I'm still trying to rack my brain. Is there some kind of horror game like this? This certainly steals a lot from several of the good versions of Resident Evil. So maybe the newest Resident Evil would count as as a game like this that's still going on, but not too much besides that. Not that's in the horror genre, not that that is just kind of this single player experience. You know what really killed a game like this is the fact that it doesn't have multiplayer, and they got so obsessed with having every single game have multiplayer that it almost completely destroyed single player for games like this. Let's see what's gonna happen here. We're gonna walk in where we started. Search and rescue. I think that's what the game said at the very beginning. Things are in different places. The blood perhaps is dried a little bit more. This also could be a different area, but if it is a different area, then the Necromorph jumped right through that again. So I think the implication is this is where we started. Of course, very possible it isn't.
Hazardous anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Perhaps the idea is to say, look, this is how far you've gotten. This would have made a good demo too, like at the very beginning of the game, having people see what was nearly 6 Necromorphs fight somebody. Suppose it's also a possibility that that was our crew that we started with, but even if it was, who cares? They were attacking me and they're monsters. Seeing if that was the ship.
I'm going to dock the shuttle. Got to be careful now. Careful. I'm bringing the shuttle down now. The automated loading controls aren't responding. You'll have to shut down gravity in the hangar bay, and then manually bring the marker directly beneath the shuttle.
It is nice looking. But see, if our ship was there and it's totally blown up, that doesn't fully make sense. It just feels like half of this design was on the idea that we were going back to the same shuttle bay that we started with, and half of our idea is that this is a different shuttle bay. And it's kind of hard to tell one way or the other. There's literally nothing here. I imagine I'll turn off the gravity and get attacked by more Necromorphs. But I just, for the age of this game, I don't even think I don't feel like there's anything that you could throw at me that would even interest me. As far as a challenge. See, I'm supposed to go up into that area, turn off gravity, and then I'll probably go down here. I mean, that certainly seems like an area wide enough to fight something. You can see that there's the marker on its side. So yeah, I'm gonna get attacked by a bunch of Necromorphs going towards the marker again. And then I wouldn't be surprised if that is the whole end of this chapter, is we get it on the ship, we get on the ship, we go down to the final final boss on the planet. Seems like that's where this is all heading. Here we go. This is that collectible. Ping. So it was in this game. And I knew it was there. I don't know if there were other pings or if that was the only one in this game though. So again, probably an achievement. Doesn't matter on Steam. No achievements integrated. Let's see, we'll go sell it. There's always ping. I think that's a reference to probably some movie. Oh, I could have sold a couple stasises too. I didn't even realize that. So if I even run into a store and have the opportunity like to sell things, that would be great. Let's see, chapter 11, how many things have we already gotten? You can see there's 1, 2, 4. Yeah, this is going to be an incredibly short chapter. Well, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.